really flag drag in general.
Yeah.
You're not catching the Akali easily. You're actually, at this point, even if you hard go for the Aphelios, you're going to need some real damage to...
Wait, no, we didn't kill them?
1xn's gone for the early back, got himself that cull, and he's gone for the recurve bow. Now, both these are really important, but the big thing about the recurve bow is, one, it's on-hit damage. It's the cheapest on-hit damage item that you can get, really. And Yunara is so much about those on-hit that it does a ton of value. Getting the cull to start sort of career, but also someone that we've got our eyes on in terms of, hey, look, your time on D+ Kier was also not great. The last time we saw Moam was not very successful. So both of these supports looking for a blow up.
Really are. See, let's get jumped on, but the polymorph partway through means it's just a headbutt, not the pulverize after. And Missing's always been a fantastic enchanter support. Back when we did have that original Zeri meta, it was often when he was paired up with the likes of Ruler on things like these enchanters. Always been a good Lulu, always been a good Renata. The other side of the game
was very, very good. Gets exhausted on the way in, but no, Moam just immediately dies. The support is returned in kind. I think the big mistake here from OMG is when they put the damage onto the Lulu, not enough splash damage goes onto the Yunara for them to win the AD carry battle after.
Credit to 1xn there as well, with a really good E-flash to avoid the Malphite. He gets out of that combo, gets to keep on doing, and suddenly Aphelios with his weapons out of range to do that DPS as well. You can see there's some really tight moments in that fight.
Problem is now, Juhan, next time his ult is up, it's not right now. 1xn won't have that flash. And, well, I suppose in the early stages of the game, maybe a wild growth is actually enough to save you from that combo. The later into the game it goes, though, you need flash or you can't play the team fight. This is why over Casper Cup and Demacia Cup, Malphite became way more popular. One back, and that's important. Getting the second kill onto Starry means that even though 1xn is still far ahead, you know, he's 600 gold up at 10 minutes in, Starry is not out of the picture.
I want to see when Moam got 6. Did he have it before they went for that play, or did he get it partway through? Either way, very nice play from Starry and Moam to ensure that they do punish Croco, trying to get even more out of that play, and instead gave up that kill.
Kraken Slayer Collector completed for both AD carries, first items in. Basically,
very significant, enough to deal with what could be a harder team fight comp to execute.
The way that we tend to phrase it, Sam, is it's still throwable. It's still throwable.
Correct.
If you stack your AD carry and mid lane together and they get Malphite ulted, much like we saw in Nongshim's game yesterday, actually, you can still lose a fight. And one of the things which is helping LNG without actually is we were just yapping around this. It's great vision to knock it down around the pushing lane of 1xn and Missing to make sure that Juhan can just walk in. And once again, look at this. Missing knows, he knows where his bread is buttered, you know. Putting the wards down either side of mid lane, or at least they'll aim to do that anyway, to stop Juhan from just walking into a lane and ulting the Yunara. They really want to hold on to the flash of the Yunara as well. They want to make sure that they keep that available for the big fights when he really needed to dodge Malphite. Come back play around this kind of timestamp. He wanted these ults.
Judgment.
Problem Moam. He's not going to have to blow the ult or the flash, so he is safe. But OMG, this is the point of the game where they really wanted to make a comeback. They've now just blown a couple of really important ults. They've lost some turret plates on the top side. They've lost a flash on the highest game from LNG. You've avoided that first comeback moment, potentially, from OMG. You get to keep rolling through these pushing lanes, and the gold lead's sprung up another 2,000 almost.
Yeah, thank you very much for that follow, by the way.
Basically, his Yunara was so good, it was basically instant ban to 1xn. He was so good at the champion that actually it gave, importantly, let them know where enemy wards are, so they can go behind the pit and they can find out where that was. Haichao looking for the flank.
Your eyes on the damage stacking. It's the slower build from Bulldog who's gone for that thrower. That's the Andrews tanky, but with burn in we go. Harry just gets shredded by the Black Cleaver. He's gone. He's just dead. Finally a big ult, but is it enough to turn things around? They do get one back. 1xn though, dancing away. Starry tries to trade, can't quite pull it off. A valiant effort still leads to LNG muscling their way through the team fight and to Soul.
LNG give the hardest of choices over to the Malphite and say, there's a clump of like 4 people you can ult, or the AD carry who is stood to the side. Which way are you going to go? He chooses the clump, and 1xn doesn't need to flash the Malphite ultimate because he's not with the rest of the team. That's like
no, my favorite is the Severin one.
Is the Severin one, which is kind of like Vladimir ult, so we call it the emo plague.
I just love it. It's so much fun. Rocco timing out the Shuriken flip and takes the blast cone. You have potentially needs to go.
Oh!
Rocco with the fake out Starry's a dead man.
He's gone. He's just gone.
Oh, wild growth on this Java means he's such a threat. He'll get dragged all out, but unfortunately, Harry does not have enough threat. Has to flash away for the Arc of Ruin. 1XN continues to auto. Dominus from Sheer. They'll move towards this mid lane in a turret that was crystallized to all get out, so it disappears in a second.
Sam, Crocker has a larger individual gold lead than Juhad. Can we talk about that? We have been glazing 1XN a lot. And don't get me wrong, he's been really good in setup for success. Crocco's been dunking! I didn't even know you could reach the AD carry there. Starry with no flash, caught out, shockwave onto Juhan as well. I don't think it's going to lead to the kill, but what it will mean is he can't walk up and smite the Baron.
No, we can't. Is there a spell book on Alistair? Maybe, but worth noting again, smite value's gone way up, so significantly again.
Is it? Let's go! Oh, awesome. Oh, awesome. It's a good day to be a Hapgood, folks.
Every day's a good day to be a Hapgood. Have you
look,
seen us?
Sam, I'm just saying, look, Ebby is a guy that plays well around systems, and if the systems start failing, he kind of goes down with the ship in a really quite bad way. But if the systems are good, this guy is really good at playing too. Good shockwave!
And the Cataclysm after he's still got a wild growth to the GA. Even if you kill him, it's not going to be that easy. Juhan has to flash on out. They finally bring 1XN low. The problem is, he's not the only threat right now. We've just been all over it. They'll get the headbutt, the pulverize. That means nothing as he's turned into a little old snowman. Harry, no! Eat crocodile. Or perhaps inverted that when the crocodile eats you. And instead, the inhibitors fall. Juhan alone, a sandcastle alone, against the oncoming tsunami of LNG.
The boot of Crocco comes down and breaks the spine of OMG. They've not seen play in the LPL since May of last year. Welcome back, OMG. Don't think this is the return you wanted.
15,000 plus gold for LNG in their home arena. A new roster, some new...
Fine, but it has still been relegated to kind of Flandre only, which is a bit worrying. And also, the Rexus is not as tanky as its kind of tank contender.
Now, early on here could be really nasty. It's still a level 2 Leona, level 3 Renata. I think this is a tricky fight. No red buff for Crocco could be a difference maker.
Look how he's handling the aggro here.
Takes the smite, and that's the win, I think, there for Juhan. Gets himself the level 4.
Yeah, Crocco was hang on, flash forwards.
Ooh, dragged a fair distance away. Moam now quite deep. Over we go. Gravity still comes on down, missing a little down, but there's still the heal that comes through, and Moam now in danger, goes down. Starry finally turns up. Crocco with the bailout. Bailouting on forwards! And the red buff donation is dangerous. Starry's in danger. LNG with the early skirmish. Renata value is absolutely obscene.
Did we forget what Renata...
You can see how this LNG style could go very wrong, but... drafting for Cryo, drafting for early lane dominant scariest. Shia? What?
Oh my god, it's the bin experience. Don't clud, my dude. Shia, no. I don't know. I mean, I know Dokla was popular over in China, but let's not recreate the moment too hastily. Okay. Thanks. I didn't know you could get inducted like that. Dragon's gonna go down. LNG will skill first on the game. This early dominance from LNG.
LNG will need to play other styles. We'll need to or get a deep enough champion pool to do it every time, regardless. Invade, level 6. For both available, that's the double cyclone. Quacko gets the knock-up. Does he have an escape? Bulldog is here. Juhan's burned all of his cooldowns, and he's dead.
He just gets swept under the carpet. Massive burst from the 2 level 6s of the mid and the jungle. 2-0-3 for Quacko. Now Sheer avoiding that Q from Harry. Won't be able to even secure a single one. He can't get a smite down.
Yeah, worth noting again, the Victor has gone plateau, as you just noticed, because again, with some of the changes to home guards in particular, basically always being active, your ability
they're
to...
going to go for the smite now.
Going to try and fight that one out. Out comes the Cyclone, takes another grub though, and I think that's just a win for LNG.
I think it is. They get the flash, I get the ult. Crocco has been demolishing Juhan here, who's, you know, again, the story of this game is doubling down from OMG. Doubling down has failed. They've yet to have a successful play in this game, really, after LNG had that first killer blow, really, in the bot lane fight.
Oh my god, he's going to try and fight this.
Well, Crocco has his ult. Juhan has no flash and no ult.
This
well,
is tricky.
and also, it's Sunder Sky to just components of the Triforce. If he, this is horrible for Juhan. He'll have to clone out. He'll clone out. But again, just being forced away.
They can absolutely dive. This is a bailout available and the Renata ult. This gets messy. Flash. Out comes the Crescent Guard. Bailout still available. It's not even needed. They back away, taking 2. Oh, Starry. I'm afraid to say you are coming straight out of the heavens. There's the bullet time. It will lead to a bailout. 1XM will get traded, unfortunately for him. But hey, 3 for 1 is more than worthwhile.
It's just, again, domination in the 2v2, and
I still think you should just let the Renata take the aggro, and even if they die, it's just less value going over, you know?
Yeah, I think that probably was a shutdown.
But because of that lane swap, it has delayed his roll quest by 2 minutes. That is the benchmark there. Rom's caught out, but Juhan is around the corner.
Potential Cyclone angle. They are still looking to threaten here. They don't know where the Wukong is quite yet. That ward, I believe, is being turned off right now by a control ward. No, wait, it's the passive from the rune that gives an extra health bar to forward, but maybe not. Quaco step forward with the audacious charge. We'll have that ability to crescent guard as required. Moment for the flash away. Haichao's down here with the ghost. Got over very fast. 1xn starting to trade. Flashes away. Haichao over. Does die. LNG will get 2. Croco chasing off another. Starry under the turret. Singh gonna turn up, the turret falls, and Starry again is diminishing in the night sky.
Ridiculous damage coming through from one.
Even without Starry in a particularly great spot. Haichao's got Bulldog, sorry, his top side on the Azir. I'm so used to Haichao playing Azir.
That's true, that's true actually. Potential teleport down from him towards that dragon. Sion can always ult into the play. Croco backed, and the reason he backed is he is so fed. He has a second item at 17 minutes as a jungler. Black Cleaver in. This means the setup's going to be a bit janky, but they do have such a powerful Shinzai who's coming in him now.
Azir also just TP'd in. He's into the river, has the Crescent Guard. Sheer on a flank angle, unspotted, using that tremor sense to ensure they know exactly where people are in the bush. Missing! Flashes forward for the Renata angle! It's beautiful! Out comes the Berserk! It ain't the manga, but it's similarly grim for OMG. Croco, still alive, backs away, still alive, finally bailed out, but unfortunately for him, Harry dies just before he can get turned around. Ends up being a little messier, actually, than I think LNG were hoping for. Do get the soul point regardless.
Good bullet time in the wrong direction, personally. I think he could have reached their misfortune with that flash ult, and that would have changed the fight. It's still a good ult. It could have been better. We come back to live. Rom's dead again.
He is, and again...
Around to the brand jungle meta. Croco was one of the first people to pick it up, and God, he was so good when he got ahead of the game like that. Back onto the shins out. Swiss Army knife jungle, jumping on. Oh, Moha.
And that's a really good crescent guard. The hostile takeover comes along as well. Out they go, looking for some more. The ult from Sion hits no one. Bulldog goes looking for Haichao. Will manage to avoid the shuffle. Starry needs to run away, but gets flash knocked up by the Rek'Sai, and Misfortune is eaten by the land shark. She's gotten dressed for the pool, but still finds herself in danger from those old non-aquatic animals. Harry is forced into a zombie form, and unfortunately for him, it is the Cranberries version that can get shot in the head.
Oh god, that's grim. Wow. Where do we get we need a lifeguard, but for land. We have one for
land
the big
guard.
We
yes.
need a land guard. We have the lifeguard for you know the aquatic sharks. What about the land sharks? What do we do about? I feel like we haven't prepared enough for them. Baron's gonna go down by the way. You know, similarly important thing.
I enjoy the concept of Jeff the land shark as a hand tag. All of them fighting over custody.
Oh, right.
Like,
that's fair.
Yeah, they both love him dearly.
I understand. I understand, so.
Yeah. So Emma hands him as a lap shark. Deadpool takes him on adventures.
Yeah, in fairness, I can see how much material you can get out of it. Good job, comic writers.
There we go. It's good times to be had. In alternate universes, Sheer will tunnel away. He's not really been the main character of this series, but in fairness, he hasn't had to do the Rek'Sai outside of that one really unfortunate death under the turret. Has been more than serviceable. Croco will audacious charge, get the slow afterwards. Juhan slowed down, gets knocked up by the 3 Talon Strike. Another win becomes lightning. Missing, forcing the flash with the handshake. Juhan still in danger. The cyclone is forced. It won't matter. The wind and the lightning keep happening. Moam shuffled away as he tries to find an angle on in. The solar flare is wide, and 1xn is not going to be dissuaded from continuing to auto down this tank Sion, who is turned once again into a zombie, but they've got the plans in place, as all governments do, to deal with the outbreak.
Bullet time. Oh, cancelled out by a flash ultimate from the Renata. Starry, I'm not sure he's safe here.
You've got water guns and you're into ungodly ascended monsters from Shuriba. There's not a lot to be done there as a poor woman from Bilgewater, and she will fall to the might of LNG. Now 14,000 gold ahead, looking to end the game in 24 minutes.
Just give Croco player of the series. Give him everything. Awesome series from the new jungler. Coming back to the LPL from the LCK. Gone between the regions multiple times at this point. I don't think the respawns will matter here. Another turret down. LNG will sweep our first series of the day 2-0.
Eyes on this bot lane, eyes on this jungle, involved in nearly every kill in this game from minute 1 to end. 22 kills in 24 minutes. LNG dismantle. If that was to be the case, I'd get a little more concerned.
Because they are the biggest talent factory in the world, but
Indeed they are. So I feel like I maybe just have to hit
on the spellbook. They don't see this. They
boy.
they do need to. Well, they do have flashes. Can they get a wall stun? Unlikely.
Can they shove about back though? Yeah. Little trade doesn't lead to all that much. A fun idea from Palkia that doesn't really lead to too much more. But actually, the Arc of Judgment hitting allows about to be chunked out. Leave now forcing an Arc of Ruin because he hits level 6, gets the flash. It's an extended play, but it works out.
And that's why Leave didn't immediately. That movement is what Grounding is worried about, basically. You're not able to hang on, connects with the ultimate.
Blind Fire comes on in with the quickness, but it will not be enough. Flash away to keep out from under the turret. Palkia needs to back away, but doesn't take an additional turret shot. Nice from Xiao Hao.
Just exploded! The burst is gone! That's the jungle support coming through, and this is one of the reasons why we're seeing more Ambessa jungle. Some teams prioritize it very, very heavily, and you understand why. Ambessa, even from the jungle role with less gold than a top lane position, can just one-shot a carry.
Leave doesn't actually have all that much to work with here as the Chains of Corruption comes on down. We forced to cleanse, got a little bit nervous. Looking to see whether EDG can convert the early start to something a bit more cube. Opportunity of the early Renekton shove to get another plate there. That's a nice start for Cube. Oh, bot lane. Let's get jumped on with Palkia behind, denying easy options out, shoving to his own Cataclysm wall. Is Monkey Shockwave on 2. Nice denial. Karras still goes on forward. Did he look at the threat? That one gets the kill. Very nicely done.
Karras, slick on the Akali. It's become bread and butter for him, really. He picks it when it's available. And you know, we were saying, well, you know, they first pick the Varus. Don't you first pick the Orianna? I remember this happening in Demacia Cup now, too, where they would just let the Orianna go over so they can pick the Akali into it. Karras is happy with the matchup, gets his first kill participation. Although WE can't stick around the bot river to take the dragon afterwards.
Honestly, I thought
the thing about the Gunblade is that it's good in burst trades too, right? The slow so you can get that E on target means that you can absolutely go into like the Rift Maker second or whatever. Quite scary actually. Q max Jarvan with one item. Could be quite scary there. Xiao Hao a little behind an XP, jumping onto, wow.
Oh, blind look maxing here as Palkia goes over the wall to no avail. Actually, he's going towards Xiao Hao. I see the thought process there. And that's pretty deep. Angel roaming over. I've got Karras around though, so this will be a 3v2 at best. And Xiao Hao's kind of caught in the middle of two members there. Will be forced to Drakehound step away with a lacerate or two.
I think Palkia thought there was no vision over the wall, so the dung wouldn't come through. There was a ward in there. Leave will successfully recall. So he won't be on the chopping block of their academy team. Herion would be able to tell us, actually. We're back to Star Wars references. Eventually, you list. Look, if a game goes long enough, we will somehow make our way back. They choose not to. You know that they basically had to finally say, oh, if you're voting on the Oscars, by the way, you can watch the films. Yeah. Palkia's going to punt him out. I think he's still dead. Palkia's been punished quite a lot in this game so far.
Has and WE, the skirmishing power we saw with all of this mobility in the follow-up potential, very, very strong. Karras gets his first kill. Gunblade off to the races. Bot side, though, at least Herald is dropped. There will be a cross.
Remember, the first turret does give bonus gold now, too. They take that. Angel can right then into the end of the turret, looks like, too. So get a little extra gold there from 2 plates coming through so far. Do they get the third? Should do, I think. Can we get a third plate down there? Yes, they do just about. On the other side, though, Karras finishes off the full top lane out the turret.
Next dragon spawning about 15 seconds, and EDG are on the bot side of the map. Karras isn't there, doesn't have ult. I don't know how easy it would be to actually fight with dragon should they so choose. Smite onto the bomb, secures it for Monkey, but again means the smite won't necessarily be up. Get the burst out, that little bit of HP building. Makes some sense to me, still be a decent amount of damage threat. Dragon started, WE on it.
Xiao Hao can always ult into the pit if he wants to go for a smite steal. They can also go for the Ambessa. Well, the ball's on him. Watch out for the Orianna Ambessa combo.
Comes the exhaust, Palkia continuing to threat, but I don't know how much he's going to do. There's a TP, the Ambessa ult goes wide, flash on him from Yaya with the quickness, gets the knock, and needs to back away, about now in danger himself. That's a bit far, ZDZ the teleport, will Pathmaker away? Oh no, WE! That is not how your team fight.
there was just no peel for about. The rest of the team not able to peel for the Varus. ZDC's all out is now down. Presses W. Monkey takes some damage, but that is not a tanky Cassante. He's gone into squishy mode.
Will have indeed done that. Will get the Q3 pullback. Flash from Karis looking to get the back lane. Does have that Gunblade auto to come on through as well. Xiaohao now in danger. Another bit of that perfect execution. Misses his Shuriken flip, but still gets on top of Lee, who gets knocked up by the Grand Entrance. Much better from WE at the back end of the play.
However, during that play, the Shockwave did kill Monkey, so get Jungler down as well. Full kill count is what, 2 for...
The guy's an absolute legend of
Yep.
the scene.
But he still retained pretty good individual form. Dragon started again.
Q3 gets that pattern forwards, trying to be that front line of nice steadfast presence. Karis goes in and immediately gets grounded in place. Public execution wide once more. It was a little bit of an ambitious one, but still. Come on, Xiaohao.
Not sure if that was just out of vision there at the end of it. There was water in the tri-brush. Great combo. Get absolutely poppied. Angel caught out now, though.
Flashes away. Steadfast presence to prevent Yao Yao getting into the back end of it all. Angel looking to punish potential rotation. Will be forced to burn the flash, but does allow Lee to get the turret, I think, as a result of the play around that pixel bush.
So Dragon kill turret. Really good social media metrics go. Potential jump over the wall here. Angel does not have a flash. Karis is coming over. Shockwave does actually stop the first part of the ultimate. It won't stop the second one. Karis is trying to ult out. Now he's behind the turret. Karis is going to die for this, so it will end up being 1 for 1 after... Hang on a second. Very nearly a 2 for 1. The E landing was nasty, and Gunblade Shadow Flame does a lot of work. Does Monkey die for it too? This could end up being extended. 1 for 2. Monkey jumps onto Palkia. It's not going to help him. 1 for 2. WE go way too deep. Now, what this does mean is that there's going to be a turret fully taken in mid lane, so WE do get something else for it. Suppose that means it's an even trade. Tower equal to a kill, arguably strict. ZDZ taking top lane turret. So we've had a couple of tower trades. We had mid lane. Palkia. The Akali E. Karis has not enjoyed playing against this Poppy. No surprise. Smite onto El Scutel. And Monkey... Wow, Monkey is just not allowed to play. He's just not allowed to play. Farasol comes through. Damage onto Xiaohao. It's not enough, though. Your jungler's dead. Jungler's dead a minute before Dragon. You'll lose that one. Do they look for a bigger fight? Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Leave. Runs forwards. Can you get an extra slow? No. About will be able to escape. EDG, take 1 kill. I mean, there's 30 seconds till Dragon. It's a bit of damage down to him. Yao Yao. Looking for a something around the side. Cube goes into the pit immediately. Wall suddenly really punts it out. Well, there goes the crocodile. No contest for Cube. He has to teleport in. Cube, my dude, the objective's gonna be gone. Smite it away. Cube into the play again. Shockwave whiff. That's 1 dead from the side of EDG already as Yunara goes down. So AD carry out of the equation. EDG, can they get themselves a retreat? Well, that's 2 dead for them now. That's definitely not going to help. We said it was going to be risky. It seems like we've been proven right. Karis has himself the E. It's on target. Arrow comes through. Karis doesn't follow it back. 3 out right now. Varasol hitting and it'll lock down that jungler, who dies for the attempt. 4 dead now. Monkey does not have the dunk. He won't be able to close down the 5th. EDG, it was a mistake to go to Baron. And funnily enough, didn't we just call that out? It looks like that was fairly obvious. EDG lose their AD carry. Leave died. And that's going to be 2 turrets. Hang on a second. How much else did they lose? Did they lose the inhibitor? It won't be the game. Quite impressive player. In fact, actually, he destroyed Team WE in the Knights Rival stage, I believe it was, actually. To knock them out of last year. It's not Demacia Cup Monkey anymore. Monkey's had a mixed game. Of course, playing into the Poppy, pretty difficult. But on the whole, he's been very impactful, as we expect Monkey to be, I suppose. Dragon started up, would be 3rd Dragon, 3D Chi. Oh, Cube dodges out the Shockwave Angel. It's another whiff. It's another whiff, and now suddenly the Shockwave threat is gone. Palkia has his ult. Can he use that to change the equation? Looks like WE just don't want to contest. I think they're afraid of the Poppy ultimate, amongst other things, I suppose. And even with a whiff, the Seekers going towards the full death cap instead, though, not going towards the Zhonya's completion right now. It looks hard for Akali to play. How does he turn the tide? Get a good flank. Oh, come on, stream goes black. If you want yourselves an official broadcast, you're going to have to make some noise. We don't have these kinds of pauses anymore. About fires an arrow over the wall. Poppy is dead again. Karis goes golden. Uses that Seekers he's been saving up. Angel has himself a shockwave. Karis does have his ultimate. Does miss the E. Again, this is what you get with a bootleg. Oh, Monkey. Yeah, well, that's the follow-up. Monkey is deleted. Monkey C, Monkey gone. Dead jungler. No objectives up right now, but you really don't want to be losing members like that so easily. Good punish by the shockwave, and then shower her ult. Peel from EDG. Well, hang on, that's a good ult onto Monkey. If they can get rid of the engage, it changes the equation. The Renekton punted out, the jungler dead. Remember, with the objectives coming up, and him dead for 50 seconds. They gave team-wide buffs, and then they've taken them away. Dragon spawning will be soul for EDG if they get it. Yam, half HP. Remind it. Whoever finds the first engage and gets some damage onto the backline probably wins. Well, actually, no, EDG don't need damage onto the backline. You caught out. Late game Renekton him. Not the tankiest. A lot of damage onto him. Leave great damage onto him too, though. Now that means that Akali can 100% destroy him. Monkey looking for an angle. Great damage from about onto him. That might win them the dragon. That might win them the dragon. Yeah, I don't think it's safe to fight this now. Yeah, walking over. EDG might go for a smite fight, but guys, you're not doing it with your AD carry. Stop this recall. Jumping forwards, and that's good damage onto him. About will one-shot the Unara, but the dragon goes to WE. They miss the smite to EDG. They go for the fight. They lose the objective, and they're going to lose, what, 2-3 members? WE get a huge chunk onto the Unara, thanks to about Tavares. And now position now where they can start wrangling the map. Baron to WE. All 5 members. Presence fell. Good chunk onto leaving that last fight, as we were saying, winning them the situation. More poke onto Angel there was quite potent too. Varus ultimate. Well, just speaking well about. And, that was less good. This is that one, but whatever. It's a bit of a free play. It's the end of the Baron buff. No, it wasn't. We got middle left of it. I don't know if it's because there was a timer on the other side of the screen going down as well. Not a timer, kill feed thing. Them changing the overlay has really messed with some of my instincts for watching this stuff. Okay, quick reload of the stream. That happens. So we jump forwards very briefly here. There you go. Oh my god. Arrow onto the again. Look at that work from the bow. It's genuinely very impactful. Palkia caught out again. All coming through from Cube. Monkey jumping forwards. And because, well, the Unara's gone back, there's no damage. They just chunked out the Unara, so they're not there for the fight. If you're going to recall your AD carry, you have to make sure you're safe. Unara now comes in, but he's melee range of a Renekton. Melee range of the Renekton. And WE dive in and mince up EDG. From a very dominant game to objective mistakes, EDG have only themselves to blame for this game as WE clutch out, punishing the mistakes. There'll be a teleport back in towards the Nexus. EDG, this one's on them. WE clean up the game around some big objective fights, and they'll take game 1 of the series in a matchup we had considered them underdogs. Way health. I'm sure that Malphite can. I just think that Malphite in practice can't farm as well as Mundo. Often falls behind in gold. And then Mundo just 3 groups now. Basically an S tier, A tier, and B tier. This is our kind of like our middle group, the A tier. EG seems to be a little better. We'll list those gyros. No, was that level 2 for Yayo, or was that for... Huh. No, he started with the ricochets. We must have had level 2 from the minion before that. Funnily enough, Monkey, not the first Mundo jungle player to exist on WE. Hang, their jungler beforehand, was pretty much the only Mundo jungle player in LPL for a while. So EDG's bot lane really getting a leg up on About and Yayo. I'd imagine both these teams have played that bot lane matchup a lot to understand that that's a break point. Level 1, if Sivir can ghost at you and get an auto-attack reset, that's probably a big turning point in the lane. So if you deny the auto-attack reset, then probably the all-in late is a little harder. Monkey walking bot side. I don't really think there's much for you to... Interesting. Malphite going topside, likely to recall soon. What you tend to do is recall in the enemy jungle, and as you're recalling at the end of it, you drop a ward over the wall. Means you have information for the second cleared jungle. Mundo will do the same on bot side most likely, but he's actually walked... No, he put a ward a little bit shallower. Put one in Tribrush, but he's not exactly tracking the enemy jungle path. So what happens now in this jungle matchup is... once you get to kind of first reset and first item, mid-game, Mundo really has a lot more damage. Hang on, the Chompers land. That's a big mistake, Yao Yao. Melee support compared to playing a Enchanter, very, very different. Yao Yao goes down for the first death of the game. Big mistake. Palkia got the kill. Yeah, he did, but it means you get full wave. Can drop a like or review onto any of these, really. Makes a lot of sense. But it makes a lot of difference to us because we're kind of starting to try and make our way through the social algorithm, right? Cool to see a lot of viewership on YouTube for Onivia as well. Of course, the thing is, obviously, with every year there are new... with us. I'm really gonna have to catch up with this. Wow. Nice. Okay, I just watched a clip on the old Twitter. Thank you so much for the resub, Time Lord. Appreciate you. Or the sub. I don't know whether that's just one of those. Because when it shows up like that with the announcements, sometimes it's like someone's gifted a sub and you're just basically reconfirming it, which is cool. Watch, but there's behind like a paywall because, I mean, you know, I see value in doing them. They can be quite energy intensive to do, but I'm trying to think about doing different things. You know, trying to make actually a bit more of a career out of it, you know? So what happened here? So this is what happened here. He got hit by the Morning Mist, and then those things hit him. And then what happened here? Did he just get hit by another one? What happened? And he just crashed, which he couldn't use to escape this one now. Of course, if EDG win this, we go to a third game. I tell you what, though, folks, I am missing Blind Pick Game 3. I feel like Fearless Game 3... I know that technically Fearless is meant to be at its peak in later games of the series. I talked about this on a couple of podcasts now at this point. I'm starting to not like last games of it. No, I know. I'm continuing to not like... Movements around the map with 10 seconds until Dragon Xiaohao. Oh my god, Karis. Flip back? Not quite. Not quite. Xiaohao could have flash ulted that into the combo. Jumping on towards Leave. Ghost popped immediately, about out of mana. Jinx cancelling the recall with the ult. Thank you for follow there, Patchy. Leave, continuing to push in here. Storm Razor first. Interesting. Yes, that is an item again, by the way. Storm Razor added back into the game. Hungarian LCK gang arrived. Oh, did LCK just finish? I saw that T1 were very dominant in that game 3. Saw a Doran triple kill, which was cool. Oh, don't mind the stutters in the stream, by the way. There's no clean feed. The clean feed's going... The clean feed for LPL is in a weird spot right now, so we do actually have some stutters. It's just the way that it is. We hope that it'll fix itself over time, but you have to be prepared for occasional nocturne ults, effectively. Q, trying to trap in ZDZ in the cage. Yeah, there were some bot lane shenanigans where Leave managed to land effectively 2 free ball Jinx traps onto first Yao Yao and then a minute later onto Monkey, which led to kills. But Palkia picks up all of those kills. So we now, oh my god, guys, we have a Protoplasm first Rel. This is great. This is great because one of my issues with Pro support low HP, and then what happened on the top side was Cube flashed for a solo kill, which under ZDZ's turret, but then also died in the attempt, and then died twice after because he didn't have flash. Leave and About trading off in the mid lane. For those of you who don't know About was on Gen.G Global Academy last year, so he's come from the LCK CL, the Gen.G system. And he got a player of the game last game for a Varus game, which was very impactful. It was a very good game for EDG up until the big objectives happened. The potential shove... Well, there's no shove back here. Good flick back. Flashes away. Can Monkey just full-on die? Well, he's certainly going to try. Flashes forwards for the Heartsteel. And he has a lot of healing. Teleport coming through from Not. I think Monkey just walks it out. Xiaohao coming down. Ult in 5 seconds. Who does he go on to? ZDZ might end up taking him down. And indeed he will. They split Divide and conquer. Karis slides away and fight. Please give him another kill. Please give Palkia another kill. It would be so funny. He's walking away. He's had enough. Bloodthirsty enough. First assist of the game for the Rala. Xiaohua picks up the kill. Oh my god. Does it count as PvE as if you fight Malphite? Isn't it PVR? Player versus rock. Player versus rock gaming. You know, the things I do for comedy. Cube punting away at that turret. Jinx ult was being used technically for wave clear there. It does go wide. It's 2 in a row now, which he's missed. Xiaohua didn't use his ult, by the way. Cube has flash. Turret's down. He's dead, I think. Yeah. Cube sticks around too long. This is something we know about Cube. He will often overstay in a lane and die. Loving you on Summoning Insight? Well, thank you. It's been, you know, I vaguely grew up with Summoning Insight now, you know. I suppose a little old for that, but, you know, it was something which inspired me in my esports journey with Monty and Thorin, right? Being able to actually be on the show. I mean, I was on there as a guest, to actually be the actual co-host, but that was a very special experience. I hope that people are enjoying it. Hoping that it's good content for you all. And now we'll actually, next week, we'll actually have, you know, games to talk about, you know. Some gold there. Objective Bounty was taken by Cube. Talia walking up there doesn't have teleport. Would have to use ultimate to get back to the play. Monkey's passive still down. Hang on, Monkey's not safe here. The traps are very threatening. Monkey gets the Lulu ultimate. He's sticking around the play for quite a long time. Saves himself somehow. Didn't have the flash for that play. Walking forwards. Xiaohua could ult. Remember, that Malphite ult is just being held. Cube came down to the play, leaving that side lane. Talia in with the wall now. Dragon is available. Would be third dragon for EDG. Very threatening, that. Azir turret. Put up in mid lane. Baron was started, but then again with a tank jungler, you can kind of heal off of it whenever you want. Easy walking down towards Cube, and there goes Angel. Is there going to be a Baron response on the other side? Cube, can they catch him? Teleport coming down. Actually, no, they want to fight the ZDZ's taking a ton of damage. I understand why. Is it coming down? He has plenty of damage. ZDZ's probably dead here. Goes Mega. Doesn't have flash to confirm an ultimate onto these two. Gets the slow. Does he get the stun there? We're zooming out because there's a fight on the other side. Monkey caught out. If the jungler goes down, then that's another situation altogether. Meganar used. Monkey caught out still, but the Wild Growth is put in. Teleport behind them from the Yorick. And I wonder whether EDG have messed up around the late game again. Xiaohua, he's getting some healing coming through. I don't know if it'll be enough. Indeed, it will. He'll be safe. EDG lose one in a play that they started. Xiaohua does have ult. He doesn't have the HP to use it now. He needs to heal off of Krugs. Why he's going up there and leaving the scene of the crime. Gold lead is now gone. Dragon available. I don't think EDG can fight it. EDG, what has happened? The late game is just not good enough from them. WE is so much more clutch. Job. Very cool if you can drop a like or a follow if you're enjoying the content in this gameplay or also wondering what the heck is happening. Angel flies in. Gets that wall down. Monkey taking damage. They go onto the jungler and the jungler's dead. There's no smite. There's no smite. Oh, EDG, it's just the fight which they need. Sweep. Goes onto, well, goes on to Leave. Leave can't get himself out into the play. Good Meganar gets onto Karis, so that carry for carry down. Xiaohua decides, screw this, I'm taking the Baron. Kills the jungler, gets the objective. EDG walk out losing the AD carrier, but taking 2 down and the Baron. Okay, so WE, it's their turn to... Clean feed stuttering again. Again, apologies for that. Can't really control it, sadly. Turret goes down. Baron buff being used well by Talia rocks. So right, hang on. The ultimate coming through from Sivir, going on to ZDZ. He does have an ult threat. He's trying to jump over the wall. Can he get there in time? Yes, just about. Sterak saves his life. Very close, though. Playing with the edge of his HP bar there. Does not have teleport. Sivir ult down. Passive out of Monkey. Tanky enough to walk it off. Mundo has become such enough damage anyway. Yeah, the anti-heal would be really nice, in fairness, it would be. You'd expect someone to get it. Fight around the mid lane, maybe. Palkia takes a chunk from Monkey. Dragon is available. Mountain Soul, of course, would be the prize. Well, not for this one, but for the one after. Leave, hit by a slow Leave. You gotta be careful with that Sivir ult pop. Redemption put down and Leave's caught again. He doesn't have flash, he doesn't have ghost. Good damage onto Monkey. Karis goes for the shuffle and manages to get a whole bunch of them. Leave goes down. The Jinx has not been very effective this game, and this time Angel goes down. Karis is carrying WE with these sweeps. Their only form of engage. About, well, find a rock, take a chisel to it, and Xiao Hao. There's a Xiao Hao's been. Cube will walk down mid lane. This might be the game. It might be the series. EDG, the big objectives have not been their friend at all. The early game's going in their favor, but the objectives are just not their game today. WE may well finish us off for a 4-game day. It will at least be the inhibitor. 10 seconds left on Leaf. I think they can do it. I think they can. Despite the early game domination from Edward Gaming, despite them coming in as favorites, WE apparently do not give a damn. Much more clutch, much more effective in the team fights around the objectives. Team WE, send EDG pack.